Bellwork 4.4a, question number 2. For question number 2, before we can divide, we have to simplify both the numerator and the denominator. In the numerator, we have multiplication, and in the denominator, we have power of a product. When you have power of a product, the first thing you want to do is take your coefficient and raise it to the exponent. In other words, off to the side, you want to write negative 2 to the 5th power. All right, let's start with our numerator. So in the numerator, we are multiplying. Let me bring up my calculator so you can see. So the first thing I would multiply is 12 times negative 8, which is negative 96. I have an x to the 5th and an x to the 3rd. X is the only variable that shows up in both monomials. So when I go to multiply, I'm going to add these exponents. So x to the 5th and x to the 3rd together would become x to the 8th. I bring down my y to the 9th, and I bring down my z to the 12th. On the bottom, I do power of a product, starting with the coefficient of negative 2 to the 5th power, which is negative 32. And now I multiply exponents. So I would get x to the 10th y to the 5th and z to the 20th. Okay, now that I've simplified the numerator, I've simplified the denominator, I'm ready to divide. And when you divide, you want to start with your coefficients. So, negative 96 over negative 32. And we get 3. So this would cross out, and this would cross out. Since 3 is an integer, it goes in the numerator. Now to divide our variable terms. X to the 8th has the smaller exponent. It gets completely crossed out. And 10 minus 8 is 2. Y to the 5th has the smaller exponent. It gets completely crossed out. 9 minus 5 is 4. X to the 12th has the smaller exponent. 20 minus 12 is 8. All right, now that we've divided, whatever is in the numerator will stay in the numerator. Whatever is in the denominator will stay in the denominator. So I'm going to write my final answer. All right, so in the numerator, I have 3y to the 4th. And in the denominator, I have x squared and z to the 8th. And that is it for number 2. If you have any questions for number 2, please let me know.